And welcome back to Warthunder. Today we're playing the Pvkv II. This is a tank destroyer 4.0 on the Swedish tree. The first thing you'll notice is that this thing has a weird turret. It's basically a gun mounted on top of an M41 chassis, surrounded by this thin sheet of metal. It can barely stop machine guns, let alone actual cannons. And the reason why is because the vehicle has a 75mm cannon at 4.0. The APHE shell can pen up to 158mm of armor, while packing almost twice as much explosives as the Sherman gun. And you can also take HE shells for open vehicles. The most important part though is that this thing has up to 14 degrees of barrel depression, which is great for peeking above obstacles, climbing rocks and shooting from hold down positions. And here we are in the match. We start right off by shooting that Sherman way too low and hitting the track, but it's now tracked and I'm concerned that they're gonna machine gun me. They don't, so we just line up a shot and hit it in the front plate. The gun goes straight through the Sherman's front plate, so really you only need to be concerned about T-34s and KV-1s. And maybe M6s, I guess. It's a standard game in Sinai, except there's only one cap. And right here, I think I can hear something on the low right. You'll notice in the minimap that I don't have anybody supporting this side. And sure enough, there's an M24. And here's one of the first downsides of this tank. Your turret traverse isn't very good. We move back to our sniping position to watch over the center of the map. Don't mind the wreckage that wasn't there when we left. We clock in an M10, shoot it, one shot. You can see the power of the APHE shell. It's usually a one-shot kill in almost every situation. And here we with the first shot at the M6. Really bad shot. If you hit the actual hull, I'm pretty sure it would go through, especially because they weren't really angled. They were showing a lot of side. And that's one of the vehicles that survives the most in the most shots. That's one of the vehicles that will survive the most shots, which is the T-34. So we're moving up. We see some movement behind the rock. I believe it's a truck, but before we can look at the truck, there's a Sherman just driving way out in the open. One shot, one kill, not a big deal. We know there's a truck behind the rock. We start loading HE, and as soon as it peaks, and you can tell that we do have a fairly long reload rate. It's, I think, 14 seconds, which is considerably long, but it isn't so long that they take a shot at us, and we just get to finish them off in one shot. If we try to do that with solid shot, you would have a terrible time, or with APHE you will also have a terrible time. This thing does have a hull mounted MG. It's just that it really sucks. Okay, let's just say it really sucks. And here we're gonna climb over the rock again, and we're gonna get a pretty good shot at this Sherman that's on the move. We don't even aim down the sights. We don't wait for the turret to stop wobbling. We just line it up and shoot. And once again, we move back into our position, and what do we spot? We spot a Churchill Crocodile. We missed the first shots just slightly too low. The Churchill Crocodile is a variant of the Churchill Mark 7. It's the exact same vehicle, except it has that little trailer there on the side, and it can shoot fire at people. From this distance, it's not a concern. But we missed the second shot as well, and now it's lobbing shell at us. I'm not too concerned because that thing only has solid shot, so it's gonna be very difficult for them to deal any amount of meaningful damage at us. And I'm hiding behind this wreckage, which should help. But I believe right about now, I think I hear something coming from the right, and I have to make a decision. Do I turn my turret to the right and kind of stop watching the Churchill? And that is the decision I end up taking, because we go back to spawn and drive all the way back out there. On our way back, we spot this M10 in a very forward position. One shot, I almost messed up the shot because of volumetric. I can see the Churchill moving up by that big bank over there. I can see the Churchill moving all the way up there, and I'm gonna try and line up a shot. I'm gonna see if I can thread the needle between these rocks, and I can't, so I have to expose a lot more of my vehicle to take a shot. Line it up, hit the turret. So much explosives that it hits the turret and the explosion bounces downwards and kills the driver and the machine gunner as well. And now there's a Sherman driving up, not caring the world. This one was poorly placed, but we still kill 3 out of 5 crew, and the survivors are orange. So the Sherman is very ineffective at this point. Even if I die, you can tell that there's an airplane strafing me. This is the one big downside of this vehicle, I think. It's mostly airplanes because you're a very easy target, really. And especially against Shermans and other American vehicles, you can tell that there's slits in the turret. You can just shoot machine gun fire through them, and you're eventually gonna kill all the crew. And that's our last death of the game. 2 lives. First time we got 7 kills, and second one we got 3 kills. I'm gonna respawn with the T-34, but that's about it for this showcase. If there are any vehicles you want me to show, just leave them in the comments. If you like the video, leave a like, and I'll see you next time.